RNZ News at 3. Morena, good morning, I'm Peter McElwain. A leading GP is warning that the government's plan for a new 24/7 telehealth service is a poor substitute for traditional family medicine. Health NZ has confirmed the service, due to go live from as early as next month, will involve a number of providers and a shared digital health record. However, the chair of General Practitioners, Aotearoa, Buzz Burrell, told 9 to Noon it can't offer any continuity of care for patients.
Unfortunately, what it's going to look like is a patient somewhere is going to find a doctor, a nurse, a paramedic who is not their doctor, their nurse, and their health practitioner. As a result of which, the chances are that continuity to be fractured. It'll be piecemeal, it'll be hit and run, and it is not picking up talent.
Dr. Burrell says rather than funding private companies to make money out of patients, the government should invest in getting more doctors on the front line. Hopes of parenthood have been crushed for dozens of Palestinian couples after IVF embryos were destroyed in Israel's Gaza offensive. Dr. Baha Galayini says his Al-Basma Fertility Centre housed 2 tanks that held nearly 4,000 frozen embryos and more than 1,000 samples of sperm and eggs before it was shelled in December 2023. He estimates that between 100 and 150 women lost what may have been their only chance at having children, as many cannot undergo the procedure again. The husband of one woman says after years of IVF treatment, she became pregnant with twins, but she miscarried them at 7 months, and the 2 embryos they had stored at the clinic in the hope of more children were gone. The Hamas Health Ministry estimates at least 54,000 people have died in the war in Gaza. Some of the US's most well-known universities could see their international student numbers plunge when the new school year starts in August due to Trump administration policies. The government has directed all overseas embassies to stop new applications for student and exchange visitor visas. The BBC's Sarah Smith reports.
Embassies have been told not to schedule new appointments for student visas as officials prepare to expand the vetting of applicants, including screening their social media histories. Students could be possibly excluded for political views they've expressed online. Some overseas students who were already in the US have had their visas revoked because they took part in pro-Palestinian protests on university campuses last year. Foreign students often pay higher tuition fees, and many institutions rely on them for a significant chunk of their funding.
A court in Australia has heard internet records show triple murder accused Carol Patterson access to page about death cap mushroom sightings. She's been charged with murder and attempted murder after 3 relatives died and another became critically ill following a beef Wellington she cooked with the mushrooms in 2023. A homicide detective has told the court the internet pages were visited in May 2022 and mentioned a suburb in Melbourne, a few hours' drive from her regional Victoria home. Prosecutors say Erin Patterson deliberately planted the mushrooms in the meal, but she has pleaded not guilty, saying it was an accident. In sport, the New South Wales Blues have won Game 1 of State of Origin, beating the Queensland Maroons 18-6 at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane last night. While the Blues set up the match off the back of their relentless defensive pressure, they were also more clinical on attack, as the likes of Latrell Mitchell and Stephen Crichton provided touchy or classy touches in the lead-up to tries by Brian To'o and Zach Loma. To the French Tennis Open, and defending champion Carlos Alcaraz was given a tough time in his meeting with Fabian Marozsan, but responded well to a second set scare to win in just over 2 hours and reach the 3rd round. That's the news.
This week on Music 101, we speak with the winners backstage at the Aotearoa Music Awards, host a live session with local songwriter Michael Llewellyn, and feature interviews with 2 visiting musicians, Japanese singer Ichiko Aoba and British producer Rival Consoles. All that plus the mixtape of Platform is with beloved DJ Frank Ficker. Music 101 with me, Tony Stamp, Saturday afternoon at 1 on RNZ National.
This is RNZ National on air on rnz.co.nz and Freeview Channel 50. The Met Service short forecast now valid until midnight tonight, Thursday. Northland to Taranaki, also Coromandel Peninsula, Bay of Plenty, Taumarunui and Taupo. Periods of rain, especially from this afternoon, with heavy falls and squally thunderstorms possible. Honganui, Manawatu and Taihape, also Gisborne to Wairarapa, partly cloudy. Rain developing this afternoon or evening with heavy falls possible. Orowhenua to Wellington, also Marlborough, Nelson and Buller. Showers turning to rain this evening, possibly heavy. For grey Westland and Fiordland, morning rain and then mainly fine. Canterbury, Otago and Southland, scattered rain becoming widespread about Canterbury and Otago for a time. Periods of rain for the Chatham Islands today, heavier for a time around the middle of the day. You're listening to RNZ National. It's now 5 minutes after 3. More news and weather at 4, including the mountain and coastal forecasts. Kia ora. It's the all-night program. Through until first up with Nathan at 1 to 5. And on the way for you this hour, we have storylines from the CBC. And in a small Alaskan town, the Canada-US fight feels personal. Time now for part 2 of Earthquakes and Butterflies by Kathleen Gallagher. Our series to commemorate the Christchurch earthquakes of 5 years ago.
How do you do?